What's up, guys, and welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. K. Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. And we are starting spooky season a little early today. Anyway, you already know what it is. Comic book characters you may or may not know about, but make it spooky. And today we are talking about Murmur from DC Comics. So Murmur, or Dr. Michael Christian Amar, was a respected surgeon who started going on a killing spree to stop the voices in his head. You know, that is also how I deal with that. A killing spree. Not really, for legal reasons, that is a joke. The killing spree ended up going through Central City and Keystone City and caught the attention of two police officers, Joe Jackham and Fred Chire. So they were able to track him down by using their forensic scientist, Barry Allen, and they had arrested him. But part of his psychosis is his inability to keep himself from blurting out his crimes. So as soon as he does this, he is convicted and sentenced to death. So, of course, they go the route of lethal injection, but it is then revealed through forensics that his blood is so abnormal that lethal injection literally does nothing. So he ends up being sent back to prison, and I believe he's in like the Iron Prison, and while he is there, he finds a way to cut out his own tongue and sew his mouth closed so that he can no longer incriminate himself. If this is not absolutely insane, I don't really know what is, because he needs to go to like a psych ward and not a prison. You know what I'm saying? He also creates like a really thin mask, which is equally creepy, and he wears it all the time. And he also, by some way, is able to create a virus that kills the guards as well as the prisoners, and it causes a riot, and he is able to escape there. What is going on that he is able to get his hands on anything to, one, cut out his tongue and sew his mouth shut, and two, be able to create a virus to kill the guards and prisoners? What do y'all have in there that he's able to get his hands on it? See, this is the thing when it comes to like villains in DC Comics. Like, how do they get their hands on these things? He ends up joining Blacksmith, who helped him create the virus, however that was possible, and he joins her rogues as they escape, and afterwards he ends up striking out on his own. Later on, he is in the Rogues War, and he is being controlled by Top. So moving forward to Infinite Crisis number 1, he is seen back in Gotham City, and he has teamed up with the Body Doubles, the Fisherman, and the Riddler to go on a murderous killing spree of the Gotham City Police Department, just going through killing all of the officers. You know, I would say, what do you have against them? But, you know, they threw you in jail. But, you know, your problem actually probably is Batman, if we're being honest. But what do I know? Do what you do when you pop it. In issue number 7 of Infinite Crisis, he is also seen with the Secret Society of Supervillains, and they are participating in that attack on Metropolis, where it takes an army of superheroes to stop them. And then later on, or actually prior to the Infinite Crisis event, he does also team up with another Batman villain, Hush, of all people, in a story that takes place prior to that. And I think that's actually an interesting team up, considering how Hush has his mouth wrapped, of course, and calling himself Hush. And then we have Murmur, who has cut out his own tongue and sewn his mouth closed. So that is an interesting team up just in design alone. So, you know. Now, the story where he teams up with Hush, Hush had agreed or tried to make a deal with him where he brought him to Gotham City and had agreed to help fix his mutilated mouth. Mind you, he mutilated his mouth on his own so that he wouldn't incriminate himself. Why he would want it to be fixed is beyond me, but okay. So, you know, they made that deal and he's like, you know, I'll totally go along with this because you said you're going to fix my mouth, even though I totally did it myself. And he just wants his help to take down Black Mask. So Murmur ends up murdering one of Black Mask's prostitutes and has Man-Bat framed for it. And then they try to go after like one of Black Mask's close henchmen, who is his name is David, and they try to kill him but fail in doing so. So instead of trying to go through his people, they go to get Black Mask himself. Like, they go after just him, period. And in the ensuing fight, Murmur is poisoned and left for dead, which turns out to just be a double cross by Hush. Why you would trust Hush to begin with is beyond me, but again, do what you do when you pop in, honey. Now, the last storyline that he is actually in is an unhinged storyline where it's a Secret Six, actually. And he is one of the villains sent to get the Get Out of Hell free card from the Secret Six. And he is defeated and he does not get that card. As for his powers and ability, he does contain, again, a weird blood chemistry that makes him immune to basically all types of viruses. Not poisons, though, but definitely viruses. So he can withstand poisons. Like, he can't die from the poisons because of his blood chemistry, but he can, like, still be poisoned and just kind of, like, left almost in a comatose state. So the extent to his ability to not get sick from viruses or anything like that is not really revealed. He didn't die from the poison when he was teamed up with Hush, so I don't think he can necessarily die from them. Of course, we also have where they tried to give him the lethal injection and it did not work. So, you know, they would have to see if there's something stronger. He also is skilled in he has blade efficiency as well as other knifed weapons. So he's very skilled in those, especially because he was a surgeon. And he is also actually really smart. He also has like a chemist's mind. So because he was able to create that virus out of whatever the hell they had in that Iron Heights prison, so he was able to create a virus from that killed everyone, not him. So just the design of this character is creepy in and of itself. The fact that you went through and mutilated your own self so that you wouldn't incriminate yourself anymore, absolutely fucking bonkers. And I do like the design of the character, and I do like the stories that he is in. I do wish to see more of him because he could mesh a lot with mesh with Penguin. He could also mesh with like they have him as a Flash villain, but he seems to be more of just like a villain in general, not necessarily tied to anybody. And he mainly ended up working with Batman villains. So to have him as a Flash villain is kind of weird, I guess, because he was in Central City, but then he just ends up working with Batman villains, you know. So like I would keep him like as a Batman villain, I guess. Like he did create a poison that was able to incapacitate the Flash for a while, but I still see him as being more of a Batman villain. That's just me. But that is it, and there will of course be more like this. So that is it for now, and I will see you guys at your next checkup.